It's a Monday. And we're gonna try this school thing again today. I think we're gonna be just fine. His eye looks totally normal. Good morning, Ruby. We're making good progress on the trip in this morning. It's 7:13, the sun's up. We should get there on time. Not a lot of room to spare, just a typical morning for us. It's 43 degrees out there, and you will not hear me complaining about the weather this week because that map of what's going on in Illinois, Wisconsin, and Minnesota with some of those wind chills was just downright scary. So we are gonna get colder Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, but obviously nowhere near conditions like they're having up there. Hey buddy, how's it going this morning?
Well, it's a Monday, so waking up tired.
Yeah, that alarm clock at 5:30, it's cruel. It's very cruel and unkind.
And mine at 6 o'clock is about just as cruel, except it wakes me up with, oh, I don't know, like 100 decibels instead of your 50.
Yeah, that alarm clock Mr. Don got you for Christmas, it seems to be doing the trick. Although the kitty alarm goes off 5, 10, 15 minutes before the real alarm, so I don't know how you sleep through Kitty. She is a force to be reckoned with when she wants her food. All right, buddy. Have a good day. I'll see you this afternoon.
Okay, Mom. Bye.
Bye. Love ya.
I love you too.
I messed up and forgot to hand Johnny the note from the doctor, so I'm gonna walk it in now. Just great. Yeah, I carried the note from the doctor inside, no problems. I am back in Ruby where it's nice and warm. Yeah, it's really kind of hard to want to leave the car when the seat heater's on and she's nice and toasty. So I'm headed back to the house, probably play a little Pokemon Go on the way. Back in Fuquay, I don't think I have to run any errands or anything in particular to get done while Johnny's in school today, so it should be an easy morning. And yeah, just gonna get into the day now. Hey buddy, how are you? Hi. Just a good boy? I don't know how it got to be 1:20 already, but that's what time it is. So I'm headed back to Raleigh to pick up Johnny from school. Don and I watched a few YouTubes, and then I twisted his arm rather easily to put on a movie that I would enjoy. So no nap today because I kept myself awake to watch the movie. Worth it, but yeah, I'm going to probably be missing that nap later on. It's fairly pleasant out. It's not windy and it's sunny and the temperatures are moderate for winter, so I'll take it. It's going to be a nice, pretty sunny sky on the way back into Raleigh today. We're starting to put some real outsides on this building. It's pretty cool. Just another day driving in downtown Raleigh.
Oh, didn't anyone tell you I was in the barn? Chandler asked. No. Are we in that party? Hold on, Chandler asked. None of your business,
God.
Amanda said.
You go on, buddy. I'll just be over here in traffic aware cruise control enjoying my ride. Nice and quiet. Back at home with Johnny. Want you to know, Donnie, that it was so sunny coming west this afternoon that we had to put the big sun visors back up on the glass.
Right, it looks sunny.
That's how hot it was out there today. Yep, wow. Yep. So, Johnny, your day at school was okay?
Yep.
That's good to hear, buddy. It's good to hear you up to doing Taekwondo. And I think he was telling me he's just maybe got some math. So he's not got a whole bunch of homework. He managed to stay caught up even though he was out sick. So that's good news.
Good. So I was reading the editorial that was in the Sunday paper this morning. And it's the editorial is Duke Energy should boost its solar rebate. And the person who wrote the article, it was well written, it was Amanda Robertson, and she's with the NC Climate Change Solution Coalition. And she shares a personal experience with the Duke rebate program and her thoughts. Basically, there's a program that you can get up to $6,000 rebate on a 10 kilowatt system here in North Carolina. But her system, she qualified and received the $6,000 rebate last summer. And she, of course, very happy that she got the thing rebate. But she said it's actually, this program is, the way it is structured right now, is actually a disincentive to install solar. Because last year, in 2018, the money in this rebate program ran out in the first 2 weeks of 2018. And then in 2019, it ran out within the first 2 days. So basically, if you install solar today in 2019, I guess you can try to apply in 2020, and you might get a rebate, or you know, it might, the money may run dry. So if you think about it, if you're thinking about installing solar and you had somebody come out to your house and they said, well, you know, you're not going to get the rebate this year, and you know, I can't guarantee you're going to get a rebate next year or the year after. In fact, you know, don't know what's going to happen, but you know, you would say, well, gee whiz, maybe I don't want to install solar right now. I'll wait until I can get the rebate. So that's basically very similar to the EV tax credit, the $7,500. That, of course, you know, that Tesla's actually going through right now, is that it's been cut in half down to $3,750. And you know, it is affecting sales, because people say, well, I don't want to buy an EV because I can't get from Tesla, because I can't get the $7,500 tax credit. So these incentives, you know, unless they're well funded or you know, available to pretty much when somebody wants them, you know, they actually are a disincentive. And I agree with her. She goes on to make some very germane points. Specifically, Duke has filed their official energy policy for through 2033, basically the next 15 years. They filed their policy, and they feel that the right number that they're shooting for, and they hope to achieve it, for renewable energy in 2023 is 8%. That they want to get 8% of the energy from renewable sources in 2023. You know, that's a pretty low bar, and if you want to make sure that you barely get to 8%, then you would probably construct your rebate program like this one to actually slow the adoption of solar energy. So I'm with you know, Amanda. I think you know, if you're serious about it, you know, you ought to really fund this program. And of course you say, well, there's $10 million each year in this pot, and that's a lot of money. Well, the CEO of Duke makes $21 million a year. So, you know, obviously to Duke, $10 million, it's a multi-billion-dollar company. $10 million is just pocket change. It's nothing to them. I mean, they're paying their people. Some of them are over 20 million a year. So what's measly 10 million in this program? So I'm sure they could fund it up, you know, step it up to, you know, 100 million to start would probably be a good start, and you know, go from there.
Poor Don's trying to leave and go on his run, and I've decided I want to talk electric and EVs.
Yep. Talk about some interesting things, but you know,
I just told him that there's an article out there that Porsche Taycan, I think that's not how you're supposed to pronounce it, but hey, I'm from New Jersey, that's how it comes out. Owners will get 3 years of free charging on Electrify America's network. And down at the bottom, I assume this is Fred's article, he says, What it really shows is that CARB and the EPA forcing Volkswagen to spend their settlement money on Electrify America is not really a punishment for Dieselgate. They are just using it for their own charging network. And who said this a year ago when we were at the last J Council meeting, when we met the representative from Electrify America? Who said that basically it was no punishment at all to have Electrify America? Dawn said it.
I said that.
Yes, I'll have to go back and pull up the clip, but Dawn said it. So, yeah, I mean, charging infrastructure is great. Yeah. But not with Volkswagen supposedly having a punishment and actually having a mandate to...
My points were basically that the negotiators for Volkswagen are, you know, they're very high-priced lawyers. I mean, remember, if you're a lawyer, you work for the government because you can't work, you know, nobody else wants you, so you go work for the government. So the negotiators for the government were totally snookered by the German lawyers with Volkswagen, which of course all the high-priced guys work for Volkswagen. So they just out-negotiated them. And I felt like it's even worse than that, because the Volkswagen Electrify network, America network, they're basically allowed to cherry pick where they put the chargers in, and they have some guidelines, some strict guidelines that they came up with, and basically it pretty much guarantees places like Fuquay or Clippitt Springs or Lillington, a lot of these other little places, they'll never get a fast charger from Electrify America. They're only going to go in the places where it's like the, what do they call it, the digital divide, or where you have the people who have good internet keep getting better internet. Well, it's the charging divide. People with good charging, like, you know, various places out in California, the big cities, they're going to get better charging. And the people who don't have any charging, they're not going to get any charging.
Yeah, well, I mean, that one in Raleigh is a prime example. Raleigh already has some level 2 chargers, and, you know, the city of Raleigh has some downtown. And where did they go put the Electrify America in? Like just a few miles from those other chargers. So
yeah, well, I mean,
granted, it is a faster charge rate, but still.
Right. I had suggested that, you know, Volkswagen should have had to put, like, you know, a third of the chargers in places that aren't likely to get any fast charging infrastructure in the next 10, 15 years. They would literally have to go on, find places in the middle of nowhere and install a charger, just so that when an electric vehicle happens down that way, there'll be a fast charger available for them to charge. Because right now people won't go there because there's no fast charging. So that means the electric vehicles won't go there. So there's no need to put electric charger there. But, you know, it's the classic chicken or the egg. And since this was supposed to be a fine, you know, they should have made Volkswagen pick the less desirable places to put chargers, because if you have a really hot place, other charging companies, you know, if there's a high demand in that spot, they're going to come put it in there really quick.
Have a good class, buddy.
You too, Mom. I love you.
Yep, love you too. See you in a little while.
Okay.
Ruby and I traveled 96.4 miles today. Go Triangle, the city buses, apparently have bought 2 electric buses. He said they could be on the road by fall. They say September up here, and I guess they had federal grant money that helped them to do that. But, you know, every new electric bus on the road is, you know, is great. It's hopefully one last diesel powered or some other energy powered bus. So Johnny and I look forward to spotting that when we start back to school in the fall.